See what if he has any suggestions.
This
Okay,
is
so we got that figured out, but now it's only playing the. We're not getting a feed it through back through us. Danielle's saying it sounds like we signed up.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Hawk Talk. This is Jack Benedict. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. Coach Paul Tortorella is with me. And for the next hour, we're going to talk about the Crimson Hawks, who are on a roll right now and coming off a 40-13 win over Seton Hill on Saturday. Our show here always 6 to 7 o'clock every Monday night, and coming to you live from the Elks Lodge. Good to have you along. And a little bit later, we will have a winner of a gift card to the Meredith Inn. That'll be coming up. And we have a special guest, one of our outstanding defensive football players will be with us here at the bottom of the hour. All right, Coach, so you are on a roll. You know, the thing we've talked about in the past is getting slow starts in games, but that hasn't been the case in the last few weeks. Looking at stats, opposition in the last few games, nobody scored in the first quarter. So you're getting it right from the outset.
Yeah, we've been pretty good. First half, we've really outscored our opponents by, I think, plus 70 was the number they told me this morning. In the first half, we're plus 70 against our opponents. So we're getting off to good starts on defense, good starts on offense, and our kicking game's playing well at the beginning. So the goal is fast start, finish strong.
Yeah, that's the name of the game, and it's been going so well. Offensively, 432 to 192 points offensively. Defensively, it's clicking right now. Is there any one thing that seems to be gelling for you?
Well, I mean, we're doing a much better job protecting the quarterback. That's the start of it. Quarterback's playing very well. He's really in a groove. Receivers are playing very well. Our tight ends all the way across the board, our running backs. Offensively, we only punted one time Saturday. We downed it on the 5, got good field position, and then scored on offense, and that's what good football teams do. Only punting one time, scoring 40 is a good thing. And we're running the ball. People don't realize that when we throw a fast screen or we throw a bubble screen or we run a jet sweep to Whitlock, those are really running plays. I mean, they go down as passes, but we don't throw the ball past the line of scrimmage. And, so if you throw those in, plus I think we had 16 runs with our running backs. It's like they go down as passes, but it's like running. It's like we had 9 runs that aren't counted as runs.
Yeah. So the stats can be very, very deceiving.
Yeah, I mean, we're running outside zone and handing it off, and that's outside zone. But when we're flipping the ball to Whitlock when he's coming in motion, it's a jet sweep, and it counts as a pass because we're flipping it to him, but it's really an outside zone. When we throw a quick screen into the boundary, it's really an outside zone. We're just getting the ball on the perimeter in that screen game, and they're like runs because we're not even throwing the ball past the line of scrimmage.
It's interesting you bring up that point. The offensive line gave up 3 sacks in the first half and nothing in the second half. What did they do? Get together at halftime and say, listen, guys, what adjustments were made? Any?
Well, 2 of the 3, Matt should have thrown the ball to both were shallow. Like he was holding the ball to throw the ball down the field, and he just his clock had to go off, and he had to just dump the ball off. But he did do a good job of manipulating the rush and scrambling and throwing off the scramble. I can remember when he threw to Whitlock in a field flat. There was nobody on him, but he had to scramble, step up in the pocket, slide, do the whole deal. But we've got some weapons, obviously, and now with Parsons in there, obviously Massey and Whitlock, and now our tight ends, Chamonix, played very well. Marcus Day had a 24-yard catch on a seam route, and we're getting the ball to our playmakers in space. Parsons, not quite sure, but how many touches he's had in 4 games, but he's averaging a lot of yards per touch.
Well, he's the type of player. That's what makes him good. He's very, very versatile.
Yes, and he's good in space, and those little running backs, you don't want them. They can't take 20, 25 hits a game, but you can get them the ball and get them 10 to 12 to 15 touches a game in space, and he always makes the first guy miss.
Mm-hmm. You were talking.
Because of a technical issue, we're not hearing Coach loud. So is there any way you can just...
Okay, I'm getting the notice here that they're hearing me louder than the coach.
Well, take your headset off.
Okay. This is live TV, folks. Okay.
You're going to have to share that mic until I get this solved.
Oh, okay. So we're going to play shared mic here, Coach. All right.
I've had to do worse.
Everything is adaptable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Let me just give the fans an idea of what's happened so far with this team offensively, and we're taking a look at nationally at a lot of these things, and some of these stats here are courtesy of our colleague Matt Berglund. Yards gained 1,558. This is in the last 3 games. 152 points. First team defense has allowed only 30 points overall. Reeve has had 2 400 passing games so far this year. And going back to the 80s and 90s, there were only 4 that were 400 at all. Rich Ingold had 2, not in the same year. Brian Ironman, Terry Throm. So he's in select company. It's just overwhelming what goes here. And I know if we had the QB here, he'd say, listen, it's not just me. It's all these other guys.
Well, it starts with the protection. If you don't have time, guys could be wide open. They're not open if you don't have time. So the protection, that's where it starts first. Secondly, obviously, guys got to get open. The scheme is a very good scheme that attacks different certain coverages. And you got to have guys that can catch the football. I mean, Massey made 2 or 3 highlight reel catches again on Saturday. Whitlock is an outstanding player in space. Then you add Parsons in there, and Chamonix, and Day, and Boyd, and we're spreading the ball around. You can't just double Massey, which is probably what you would like to do on defense. And then, the other thing people don't understand about protection, our running backs, Banks and Parsons did a great job in protection Saturday when we kept them in. Only one time did we blow a protection where the back didn't go to the field when they blitzed the star from the field, and we got sacked. So that was a protection error. One other time, Matt should have just dumped the ball off, and another time it was kind of like a coverage sack. They had covered everything we were looking for. Now, when we snap the ball, both on offense and defense, it's a pass. I'm just looking in the secondary. And obviously, when we're on defense, I'm seeing if we're covering guys. When we're on offense, I see a lot of guys running wide open, and that's how you throw for 400 yards. So there's guys running wide open. And really, he only missed 2 throws the whole game. He was 30 for 37. He threw the ball behind Massey on a misdirection, and he made a bad throw to the field that they almost picked on quick game. Other than those 2 throws, 35 out of 37 were thrown. One went through Whitlock's hands. Technically not a drop because it was a high throw, but he didn't miss many throws Saturday now.
Well, let me follow up on this from the standpoint, I'm allowed to get back into my uniform. And this is it, okay? All right, we'll see how we go here. I'm going to follow up on Massey and Coleman. We haven't even mentioned Jeremiah Coleman. Coleman came up with, I know he's had a hamstring problem. Give us an update on him. And Massey, they said it was no targeting.
Yeah.
Our guy Greg talked with him afterward. He said he's okay. What's the update on these guys?
Yeah, they're fine. We should have everybody that we had Saturday this week, except we lost 2 backup linebackers on special teams.
Antonio Green, who was the other?
Green, and then Lozius on kickoff coverage.
Yeah.
So we lost a couple backup linebackers, which will hurt us on special teams. But we should have everybody ready to go Saturday.
Okay. All right. Well, that's mostly the good news there, that's for sure. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge. Can't you tell we're live with all this stuff going on? But we're muddling through. We're doing like the team does sometimes. Sometimes there's that, the team has adversity. You forget about the fans. You forget about the closeness of how the fans were the other day, and you play, right?
Yeah, you got to be flexible, buddy.
Okay. Reeve, by the way, has just unbelievable numbers that we talked about, and the one that really stands out is his pass efficiency is at 2.20, leads the country, the Division II. I don't know. I've been around here a long time with a lot of games, and the overall spectrum of this team right now. Now, we don't want to get overwhelmed, do we? I'm sure you're telling the team, hey, we only played 4 games, right?
Yeah, I mean, each game's its own game. You know, what's happened the last 3 games or the first 4 games really has no factor on what goes on from today to this Saturday. Different opponent, different scheme. So it's one day at a time, one game at a time.
I'm going to go to the next page here that I have. The fans speak is what it says. How do you address the second and third team sloppiness is what it says here?
Well, you get them to play to the standard that the starters play at. Now, there's times where we've got some young guys in there playing against the other team's first-team guys. You know, Seton Hill ran a play for a touchdown there in the last 12 seconds, and you thought they won the NFC Championship. Quarterback draw to make it 40-13. So, you know, we got young players out there. Some of them are playing for the first time, and they got to play better. They know that. You know, they got to play to the standard both sides of the ball. Offensively, we're turning the ball over, which you can't do in the fourth quarter when you're finishing a game. And then defensively, the last two weeks, our second-team defense gave up touchdowns on the last drives. And Saturday, the problem was we had 2 penalties. We had a personal foul, and we lined up off sides. So that's been addressed.
I was going to bring up the fact that you brought in some really good freshmen. And customarily, each and every year, you don't really dress them as red shirt them. They're true freshmen. We've got this young running back here, and Eric, he tells me it's pronounced Daru, so I'll go with what he said. You got a chance to get him in for about 4 carries. Is he someone that you will keep incorporating, you think, or are you going to play it by ear?
Yeah, I mean, he'd probably be the next guy up, you know, at running back. We're still waiting. You know, we hope we have Randy Washington this week and Majors. We should have Majors. So, you know, Doru was in there on the last 2 series because we had 2 running backs that weren't dressed. We'd like to redshirt him. But if he would ever become the third running back, you know, we'd have to play him. He can play. I mean, we wouldn't have any problem with him. I mean, as you saw, I think if we'd have just, you know, the plan was just to keep giving him the ball the whole series. And, you know, but he had 4 carries for 20-some yards. And
yes.
They weren't stopping him. So, and that was their first-team defense against our second line, our second quarterback, our third or fourth running back. So it wasn't like we were going against their backups. And he ran the ball very well.
I don't like to compare backs, players' positions from one year to the other, but it just kind of entered my mind on the broadcast on Saturday. I thought, he reminds me somewhat of Harvey Tuck.
Yeah, but he's bigger. He's actually a lot taller than Harvey was short, but the same weight and height. Yeah, very similar that way. But Doru's a 6'1", 220-pound back.
Yeah, he's pretty big.
I mean, there's a difference. You know, Parsons is a small guy. Banks is 200 pounds. Randy's 190. Majors is 190. And then, you know, Doru goes in there at the end, and he's 6'1", 220 pounds. And he's a load now. And he can run. I mean, he's got good speed. He's not on the scout team going against our defense, and he does a great job down there for our defense.
Well, that's somebody to look forward to for this week and for the future. Okay, it's been quite a 15-minute portion here. We've had a little bit of everything, but we're on the air. We're doing okay. Coach will be with me, and we'll be back with more. It's Hawk Talk. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge, and we're here on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV. Be right back.
Furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
Since 1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment. bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 8 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
We're back with you live here at the Elks Lodge. Jack Benedict, Hawk Talk, Coach Paul Tortorella. A little bit later, we're going to talk here in about the next 15 minutes or so with defensive end Logan Goodwin. Coach, you talked about and alluded to the linebacker situation. A couple of guys back up or injured. How about an update on J.D. Younger?
Well, right now he's probably going to end up taking a red shirt because he's missed so much time. So that's kind of where that's at, where he's at right now. He's probably just going to red shirt this season. We still got, obviously Jeter, Whipple. So we'll be okay at linebacker.
Yeah, it's a shame because, he's done so much for the program
Right.
over a period of years here. But now, you can get it. I don't think he's ever had a medical, had he?
No, he played as a true freshman.
Yeah, true freshman,
Right.
yeah. Okay, so we'll get J.D. back in before you know it. Here's another question from the fans. Connor Shemani got a TD on Saturday, and the fan says there's a lot of versatility on offense. The fact of the matter is he had been switched from a wideout to a tight end. It appears he's making that transition without any problem.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job. I mean, he's a mismatch. He's a big wideout playing tight end, and that's a mismatch. He's on safeties and linebackers, and, for a tight end, he's got great speed, for a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got wideout skills, and he's a tough kid. He's got good size. He's 217 pounds. So, he's become a really good option for Matt.
You have been a defensive coordinator for a long time before you became head coach. I would think that you're having as much fun as anybody watching your defense play.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing well. We'd like to get more takeaways. We're putting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. We're stopping the run. We're not giving up many yards. But there's a lot of stuff we got to clean up. Fourth down defense, because, once teams pass the 50, it's 4 downs. We were watching Edinboro today, and the very first series, it's 4th and 6 on the plus 46-yard line, and they're going for it. So we're 1 for 6 on. We're great on third down. We're 27%. You want to be 30 is really good. So 27 is very good. But on fourth down, we've only stopped them 1 out of 6 times. So you got to be good on third down. But if you're stopping on third down and they're on your side of 50, they're going to go for it on fourth down. So we got to get a little better there. And we got to get some takeaways, like I said. And we got one Saturday, got the ball to our offense on the plus 30. We scored. It got called back. And then 2 plays later, we scored anyway. We had an illegal man downfield on Zach Boyd's touchdown. And then we hit Clark, and then we rolled out and hit Chamonix from the 1-yard line to score a touchdown. So we set up a score with the turnover with Noah Vaughn's. It was really a strip sack, but they called it an interception, which is fine. So, we got to do more of that. We got to take the ball away.
I was going to bring that up. That was a heck of a play.
Oh, yeah. He had 2 other plays where he could have had sacks. They were throwing the ball quick. They were really concerned about our rush and our blitzes. So they were trying to get the ball out quick. And the 2 times he did hit the quarterback and he just got it off, they were quick. It was 2.5 seconds, and the guy was trying to throw it. So he beat the tackle one-on-one 3 different times. One caused the turnover, and the other 2, he affected the quarterback's throw. Both times he made bad throws because he was getting hit as he threw it.
I know one of the things you said that you wanted to do going into the game with the defense is keep their running game down. And Crockett really didn't have an opportunity to make a big play. 2 years ago, I think he had over 150 yards. So you centered on him and then went from there. And then, of course, for the second game in a row, you're playing a team that had their second-team quarterback in there. What's
Yep.
going on here?
Well, we thought that might happen because the starter had gotten hurt late in the game against Westchester, and he's only a freshman. And they're both very comparable, so I can't say about the other guy because we've never played against the other guy. But the whole key is the running back, and he got 16 carries for 26 yards. So, once you stop him in the run game, they don't have effective enough passing game without the run game and make them one-dimensional. They got no boot game. They got no play-action game. They did a couple things with screens. We played every screen well except the one. And the one quarterback keep, we didn't play well. We only gave up two explosive plays, a 26-yard run by the quarterback that we misplayed up front. And then they hit the screen against our all-out blitz, which was a good play by them for, I think, 50-some yards. So 2 plays, I think we said, were 90 yards, and they had 190 yards total offense.
Yeah.
But our one defense didn't give up a point.
No.
So that's what you got to kind of, the scoreboard's the scoreboard, but the one defense actually pitched a shutout, if you look at it that way.
Here's another stat that you always look at. How do you do in the red zone?
Right.
5 for 5 is pretty good.
Yeah, and this doesn't seem like much, but Andrassi's second field goal from 47 yards, when he hit that, I said, we got this game because they just needed something good to happen early. And if we miss the field goal there, then it's still 3-0, and they get a little momentum. He hits the 47-yarder, we go up 6-0, and then, we end up being up 13-0 at the half. But the key to on Andrassi's field goal, we had 3rd and 18 on the plus 38-yard line. So we're out.
Maybe.
No, I'm back on now. But anyway,
okay.
It was 3rd and 18 on the plus 38. We were out of field goal range. Our offense did a great job. We hit Whitlock for an 8-yard gain, got us to the 30, and set us up for the field goal. We weren't trying to get a huge chunk and make a first down on 3rd and 18. That's good.
Yeah.
And so we got, we made 8, got it to the 30, and he made the 47-yard field goal. If we throw an incomplete pass there, we're not trying a 55-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But 47, he made it, no problem. Got up 6-0, and we kind of had the momentum from there on out.
Nick told me, I saw him after the game, and he said that on the missed extra point that hit the upright.
Right. It got tipped because the guy came off the edge. He was offside.
Well, that's what he was telling me.
But
yeah.
At that point, the game was pretty well in hand. But the guy came off the edge. He was offsides by a good bit. But it didn't matter at that point. But what you got to do is when you snap the ball for field goals and extra point, you can't give them the same tempo and rhythm so that sprinter gets a beat on you. Sometimes you snap it quick. Sometimes you wait a while. Again, but you got to vary the tempo of when you're snapping the ball so they don't get a jump on you, just like the snap count.
Here's something that was pointed out to me by one of the fans and said that this Saturday we're talking about against Edinboro and homecoming, you will have 243 wins as a defensive coordinator and head coach, surpassing Bernie McCowan. I'm thinking back, wow, that's right. He coached all those years with Indiana. Then he coached all those years with IUP. I'll tell you what, somebody's doing their homework here on stats. Then, when you put that in perspective, I know what you're going to say, but go ahead and say it.
Tells me I'm getting old.
Well, I didn't use the word old. I was thinking they've been around a long time. But that's fine.
They haven't been able to kick me out yet, I guess.
Well, we think fondly of Coach McCowan.
Oh, he was a great one.
What a find for big guy, for Frank Signetti, when Bernie in the mid-'80s called it quits at high school rank.
Yeah, he was big. I was here with Bernie for 20, until I became the head coach. So he was with me on defense and the special teams every year I coached here. So he was, a big part of what we did on defense. He coached the defensive ends, and then he had all the special teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked hand in hand with Bernie for 22 years.
It was I think about him too fondly because I had the opportunity to broadcast when he was at Indiana High School for 20 years, and when I had heard that Coach Signetti was bringing him in, so boy, we got a lot of experience coming here, and I think probably, and you would think, you would say too, I think, is what he would be infectious with the other coaches.
Oh, he was great with the other coaches. The players loved him. Did a great job. Great human being. I loved every day with him.
Yeah.
Working with him. Every day was a joy working with him.
Great day to be alive, right?
Oh, and we still use some of his sayings, believe me. And some of them are a little bit off the wall, but they're pretty funny.
That's okay. All right, we're going to be back. We have our guest player coming in. We're going to talk more defense and also another sport, too, about this guy that we found out about. Okay, we're Hawk Talk, and we're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. Glad to have you with us each and every week with Coach Tortorella back on U92Radio.com and Renda Digital TV.
For food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose, the Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an Elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an Elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
Show your IUP spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.
Located along the beautiful Allegheny River in downtown Katanning, the Meredith Inn provides an atmosphere of casual upscale dining. If you're looking for the perfect venue for your next event, look no further than the Meredith Inn. Family gatherings, wedding rehearsal, business meeting, or just a night out. It's perfect for all occasions, and their menu has something for everyone, leaving all full and satisfied. For more information, visit them at themeredithinn.com or call 724-793-7364.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Elks Lodge here in Indiana Hawk Talk. And we're coming to you till 7 o'clock. And glad to have you along with Coach Paul Tortorella. And we have our special guest. We talked about defense, alluded to. Logan Goodwin is with us right now. Logan, sophomore here at IUP. How are you today?
I'm great.
You're good?
Great,
Everything going well?
Thank you for having me, yeah.
Okay. First thing I got to do is say that you're from Westchester.
Oh, yeah.
How in the world did IUP steal you from Westchester or anywhere else in the East?
It was really all just the coaching staff coming out to meet me. Figured out how far of a drive that was, and I really appreciated it. And it was, I mean, they got the best coaching staff in the PSAC. There wasn't much convincing once I met them.
Well, that's a big kudos to you guys, right?
Sure.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We traveled to go. He was good enough to go travel to try to get him. The funny thing is the weekend he visited was a terrible snowstorm.
Yeah.
His parents had to stay out because there was something going on campus. They had to stay in a hotel out in Ebensburg, and they maneuvered in and back and forth with the bad. I mean, it was a bad storm, and they came all the way here from Philly, and they got home all right.
Well, anytime you're mentioning Ebensburg and snow, people around here know exactly what we're talking about. Right. Let me give the fans and the audience here a little bit about your background. Mm-hmm. Played as a true freshman last year, played in all 10 games, started 5 games, 27 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. Been in 4 games so far this year. Of course, a starter at one of the end positions, 2.5 sacks, 16 tackles, 3 quarterback hurries. All these things, combined. I mentioned to Coach a little while ago, it's not often that players come in and play as true freshmen. Was that a little bit of a surprise to you that you were going to play right away? I'm sure that certainly was to your liking.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise to me. I was definitely very ambitious coming in, so I definitely wanted to see the field. Wasn't my expectation to start, but it's how it ended up. And it was just a tribute to all the older guys on the defense who helped me figure out the whole defense and adjust quicker than I probably should have.
No.
And it was, yeah.
Two-sport letterman in high school. The other sport, lacrosse.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about that. That's a little different combination.
Yeah. Lacrosse is a lot bigger on the East Coast than it is over here for sure. So, yeah, basically everyone plays lacrosse on the East Coast, and it's a great sport. So, especially for football in the off season, keeps you aggressive, keeps you athletic, all of that. So it's definitely a great sport, and it definitely goes hand in hand with football. It was very. I'm glad I played it growing up.
Well, he wasn't just a lacrosse player; he was the MVP.
Well, if you got a guy playing defensive end in football, and he's playing lacrosse, because that's a game you're playing in space. Like you're running, you got to do a lot of running. You're in space. You've got to be pretty athletic. I don't know. What are you? 6'4", 6? What are you? 6'5", 6'4", 6'5".
Oh, just screw an inch.
I'm sure he's was 5 inches taller than everybody out there, and you always look for multi-sport athletes. You would have thought basketball, but actually lacrosse, you got to probably be just as athletic in lacrosse as you do in basketball, and that's always something that we look at, multi-sport athletes.
Mm-hmm. What other sports what position did you play in high school?
For lacrosse?
For football.
Okay, for football. Yeah. So I played running back and linebacker basically my whole career, and then got to high school and they put my hand in the dirt, so I played tight end and linebacker. And then my senior year was actually my first year of playing defensive end.
What, when you look at your team defensively as a whole, what impresses you about this team's defense, your defense this year?
I think definitely our chemistry and our camaraderie. We all work very well together. We communicate well together, and I think it shows out there that we all work really well together.
The other thing the coach and I have talked about is the depth of this team.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about that, because the first few games we're playing in 80-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have some very capable backups, isn't it?
Yeah, that definitely plays a huge factor. Honestly, it's really nice having guys that can come in and pick up where someone left off at. It's a game changer because our guys, especially on the D-line, we all stay fresh. We're all in there, and we trust everyone that's playing in there to do what they're supposed to do.
Well, it's definitely been an asset this year. With
now, the heat, sure.
Saturday I thought was a good football day.
Yeah, it was a little bit nicer, but we've had, Millersville and Lockhaven was pretty hot.
Yeah, really. Let's take a look at you personally. Do you think that you're a better player this year than you were last year, and why is that?
Oh, definitely. I think I'm better in every aspect of my game. I think the biggest difference was playing with a lot more confidence this year. I feel like I'm definitely I kind of feel like I'm like my old self. I feel more athletic. I feel like I can do things I'm supposed to be able to do. It's really just a confidence, and took the off season very seriously with our training program and everything, and it definitely made me a better athlete, and I'm playing a lot more confident.
Coach, whenever you first got a glimpse of Logan here, and you thought, boy, this is a guy that would fit into our program pretty well, what any one particular thing that impressed you?
Yeah, he was the best pass rusher we looked at, that we had a chance to get as a defensive. He was the best pass rusher. And we looked at a lot, we're recruiting the whole state. And
sure.
There's some guys that get over-recruited and get D1 scholar, offers, but he was available and with his body type, his size, I mean, he's 6'5", he's got long arms. He was a great pass rusher his senior year in high school. It was like a no-brainer. He was the number one guy for us.
It's the type of situation that college football anymore, you don't know how long players are going to stay at one particular place. And I don't know how it's tough for fans to not get locked in on certain players because they're here and then they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's going to be pretty tough. I'm asking you, is how tough is it as a player, knowing that you're a very good player in Division II and what's going on in the world in college football? Although by next year they may change the rules again, but how tough is that?
It's not that tough. I just kind of all I think about is what I have to do this week, what we can do to win and whatnot. I'm not looking forward on to what we got next week, what we got the next month. All I'm worried about right now is Edinboro and getting a win on Saturday.
Yeah. That Edinboro game doesn't sit too well from last year, does it?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah.
It sounds like you guys might have a thought about changing things a little bit on Saturday. I mean, Edinboro came back from 20 points down, beat Clarion last week. So, and you got Nico. That's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good guy, good teammate, but we're gonna have to get after him regardless. So
it's
company line.
I love the way you put that. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Nico. We're not telling Nico anything he doesn't know. That's for sure.
Right.
Oh,
yeah. But the game last year was one that was disappointing. But again, we're looking at this year and not last year. You have a favorite defensive player in the NFL? I don't often ask questions like this, like what's your favorite food, and everybody says pizza.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I really just watch DNs at this point. I fell in love with the position, but my favorite are probably Max Crosby and Myles Garrett.
Oh, and Myles Garrett. Well, since I kind of favor the Brownies, who've been suffering.
That's his team, the Browns. Yeah. Are you an Eagles fan? Or you?
Oh yeah, go Birds, go Birds.
Well, I figured
we'll have to get you hooked up with Coach Sirianni when you're in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
oh my goodness,
we could get that done.
Yeah, that's something with with the Eagles. Well, we've had so many coaches that have come out of IUP. I'm sure. Were you aware of how many coaches really had been at IUP and then moved on to the next level?
I wasn't too sure at first, but my dad came to me a couple of days after I told him IUP talked to me, and he did all his research. He came all excited. He was like, Nick Sirianni with the IUP. And they naming all these guys.
Yeah.
That definitely got him really excited to come up here and visit, see what the culture is about.
Did you have a lot of attention coming out of high school?
No, not too much. I feel like it definitely hurt me changing positions a bunch in high school, my recruitment and whatnot. So, I would go to these camps in the summer. I didn't really know what position I was trying to go play college football for.
That's an interesting point. Yeah. What's also interesting is the fact is, so you guys are on defense and you're practicing every day. I see a lot of it, and you're playing against this offense that's right now soaring. That's one of the words we can use. That's got to be so competitive for all you guys. Is that the way you look at it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think everyone on that team loves competition. So going out there every day, and we get to go play against an offense full of 11 athletes. They're playing complicated offense. Just boosted our IQ and our competitiveness and everything. So yeah, it's a blast every day at practice getting to go against the ones.
Just stay away from the quarterbacks. No matter who's in there. Right?
They know that. They're very well in tune to that.
I'm sure. All right, let's talk. What's your major?
Physical education.
Okay, because I understand he's an honor student.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We had a lot of those guys here, don't we?
Yeah, we're doing okay academically. We've got a lot of really good students. We got 7 or 8 guys in grad school. A couple guys will actually have their masters in December. They understand they're here to get an education and to better themselves for the future, and whatever that future is, leaving here with a degree is the number one goal of going to college. And we push that, and in recruiting we don't recruit with anybody we think is not a serious student in regards to getting an education, because this isn't the NFL, this isn't Power 5 football. We're bringing guys in to develop them, like a Noah Vaughn. Noah Vaughn's here 6 years, and now he's become a really good player, and he had a rough road, but he's been very resilient, and now it's his time, and he's our third defensive end, and him and Goodwin on the edges, and then we move Randy inside. That gives us our best pass rush. So, especially when we start playing teams that are going to line up and spread it and throw the ball every down, you need a lot of fresh pass rushers. Mm-hmm. And really, we think those three guys are pretty good. Cotton, obviously, Logan.
Well, we gave a shout out on the postgame show to Noah this week. Thought he played a really good game, and spectacular what they turned out to be an interception. Okay, as a defensive player, you're going against Edinboro. We know that Nico Marchitelli was here, and we know what he can do. And the thing is, so you're playing against a QB who has mobility. Mm-hmm. Thought process has to be different going in, doesn't it?
A little bit, yeah, but it's nothing we haven't seen before. We've contained quarterbacks this year and been successful at it, and there's no doubt in my mind if we come out and do what we're supposed to do, we'll do it again. Yeah, for sure.
I always like to ask the players too. Family members, you mentioned your dad. You have siblings?
Yeah, I have one older brother.
Older brother?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm somewhat familiar with the Westchester area. We have some relatives in that area, so I get out there quite often, as a matter of fact. But it's not a bad ride, is it? Your dad picked. He was right,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely no. The ride's not bad at all. It's like 3.5 hour drive. It's not really 4. Yeah. But yeah, just put on your music and just cruise. It's pretty relaxing, actually.
Let me ask you one other thing. With homecoming coming up, Coach always will tell the players, focus on what we're doing Saturday, game day, that sort of thing. Is it any more difficult as an athlete, as a player here during homecoming to do the right things, make the right approach?
I don't find it too difficult.
No problem for you.
Homecoming doesn't really matter what the week is. I'm going to keep my regiment the same and do what I got to do.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Logan, thank you. Stay healthy.
Thank you very much.
Logan Goodwin, he's only a sophomore, folks. And he's a heck of a player, and you're going to watch him play and listen to him this week on Saturday, homecoming against Edinboro. Thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
All right,
Thank Coach
back
Tort.
with more. We'll come back with the last 15 minutes of our show. Hawk Talk, what's up next? Who knows? Stay with us. We'll find out in a hurry here. Coming to you on Renda Digital TV and the U92radio.com right after this.
1936, Walker Motor Company in downtown Katanning has served Western Pennsylvania with its no-pressure, no-hassle environment, bringing the kind of family-owned and oriented dealer experience that everyone wants when it comes time to purchase a new or used vehicle. Whether you are looking for a new GMC, pre-owned vehicle, service, or collision repair, come on over to Walker Motors and see why they've been voted #1 for 8 straight years. Visit them at walker-motor.com.
Looking for food, fun, and entertainment with a purpose? The Elks Lodge 931 in Indiana is more than a place. It's community. Become an elk. Enjoy food, fun, bowling, music events, and a banquet hall. Distinctly American, Elks are rooted in brotherly love, charity, fidelity, and justice. Annually giving tens of thousands to local charities. We give back not at the Elks, as an elk. See them at 475 South 13th Street and on Facebook today. Elks Lodge 931, where community and compassion meet.
From furniture to flooring, mattresses to accessories, you'll save big at Dowd's. Dowd's showrooms are filled with furnishings from America's finest manufacturers. You can save thousands on Dowd's floor samples and receive incredible savings on custom orders. Whether you're looking to furnish one room or your entire home, right now it's all on sale at Dowd's. Drive a little, save a lot. Dowd's of Plumville and Greensburg.
Doesn't your home deserve Dowd's?
Yeah.
And we're back with you, folks, with Coach Paul Tortorella. And it's Hawk Talk. We're coming to you live from the Elks Lodge here in Indiana. We do this every Monday between 6 and 7 o'clock. By the way, we're going to pick a name here in just a little bit for a gift card from one of our sponsors, the Meredith Inn. We thank the Co-op Store, Meredith Inn, and, of course, the Elks Lodge here. We've got a question here, Coach. Okay. Oh, I got you. There you go. Defense. Logan's a good player. How do you compare him with Tillman?
Well, very similar. Played as a true freshman, starting as a true sophomore. Very similar type athletes. Tillman was a little bigger, weight-wise, but Logan's getting, he's about 250 now. And Tillman's a guy that, like, you talk about resiliency. He played 3 years in that minor league football.
Yeah.
Some guys would have just, said, maybe it's time to get on with my life's work. But he kept grinding and straining and got his chance with the Broncos. And but they're very similar in their traits and their skill set. Big, tall guys with long arms. I would think by the time Logan leaves here, he's probably going to be about 270.
Wow.
To be honest with you. He came here 220. He's up to 250 now after a year and 3 months.
Yeah.
So, he's really on a good trajectory.
That's a good question. Appreciate that question. That's for sure. We watch Tillman. Oh, we have a winner. We do. He has no last name, but Ned knows who he is. So Ned S is our winner of the gift card from the Meredith Inn. There we go. Ned may have left the building. I don't think he's still here. Coach, getting ready for Edinboro coming up. I was watching the Edinboro Clarion game after I had heard that Clarion had the 20-0 lead. And Matt Scott, of course, is the coach. Your thoughts about Matt? He was here for, I saw, a couple of years with Coach Signetti and then with Coach Tepper. Is it any surprise to you that he went into coaching?
Not at all. Not at all. He was like a player coach when he played. Guy that got every ounce of his ability. He I won't say he overachieved, but he definitely didn't underachieve. And he became he played, he was a 3-year starter on the defensive line. And he was a little bit undersized, but he was just a smart football player. And we played him at defensive end. Very productive, great teammate. We won a lot of games with him. Played in a bunch of playoff games. And he played, obviously, for Coach Signetti and Coach Tepper, and I was the defensive coordinator the whole time he played here. And, it didn't surprise me at all that he got into coaching, and one thing led to another, and then he had a really good run at New Haven as the defensive coordinator. And, when Edinboro hired him, I thought they probably that was a great pick.
Yeah.
I really thought that he is doing a great job there.
That was a great opportunity for him because, as you said, he was the defensive coordinator at New Haven, and they're in D1 now.
Right, they've moved up to D1, and he's wanted to be a head coach. I know. I think he was involved in the Westchester job when that opened up a couple years ago, and I think it's a good spot for him, taking over the program, and it's a win-win for Edinboro also.
Well, none of these games are easy, and the PSAC West is pretty doggone good. And Edinboro's come along. A couple of, not only that game last year with Edinboro, but the last few years, they've been a tough out.
Yeah,
put it
well,
that way.
they've played. They've predominantly the last couple years have been really good on defense and special teams. The game that I was most concerned about playing them was in 22 when we went there, and we ended up winning, I think, 45-0. But I was really concerned about the game that year going out to play them. And one thing led to another, and we got a lead, and it kind of snowballed. But then we had a tough game with them at home the last time they were here. Nico was our starting quarterback that day.
That's right.
Karst was hurt. So Nico started for us 2 years ago here against Edinboro, and that was a tough game. It was a rainy day. It was an ugly day and low-scoring game. It was a tough game. And then last year it was fairly low-scoring, a battle that came down to the wire, and we were one play away from winning in all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, and just didn't get it done.
Yeah. When we take a look at what the PSAC has been doing last week, the Edinboro Clarion game, Cal and Slippery Rock play. 35-14 Cal. Slippery Rock comes back. Game tied. Cal wins in the last minute. Wow. You know, we're going to see that it seems as though there's a handful of really good teams, and then there's nothing against some of the other. They're just not as good. But you never know.
Well, I look at this. Lockhaven, we had a pretty easy time with them second game of the year. Their quarterback didn't play last week against East Stroudsburg. They played with their second-team quarterback, and they lost 27-24 to East Stroudsburg, who's probably a playoff caliber team. So they went to Lockhaven, I believe, and every week you see it in Power 4 football. You see it in the NFL, especially when you go on the road. If you don't come to play, you're going to get beat. And even at home, if you don't, come to play. I'm sure East Stroudsburg looked at Lockhaven, saw that they've struggled other than their opener, and maybe thought it was going to be easy. Second-team quarterback playing for Lockhaven. And probably the best player on their team is their first-team quarterback. And he didn't even play in the game. And they won 27-24, so it was a battle. And there's nothing like it's every week it's like that. If you don't play well, you very easily can lose.
Well, I think it was the first week of the season when Edinboro beat East Stroudsburg.
Yeah, there you go there. They went to East Stroudsburg. Now, Edinboro had a pretty big advantage because they knew staff. They knew what East Stroudsburg was going to do, because East Stroudsburg has everybody back, all the coaches back. And then for East Stroudsburg, they got to figure out what Edinboro's going to do. Their whole staff is new. Matt, obviously, is the head coach, the coordinators, the assistants. There's not one coach at Edinboro that was there last year. So East Stroudsburg, it's a little bit of disadvantage going into the opener, not having any idea what Edinboro was going to do, and it showed.
Now, I'm going to bring up, we have a couple of minutes. I know we have somebody in the crowd here that has a relative that plays on our team, Charlie Mill.
Yep.
And Mr. Hogan is here. That was a great find, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he's on every special team. He's one of the 6 receivers we roll in and out. Plays a bunch of different positions at wide receiver. He's smart, so he doesn't just play one position. He can play all 3. Great kid, first off, and really good special. He's smart. He's a smart football player. And I know Coach Bryce, with the kicking game, gives him some response. Like a lot of the times, depending on what team, punt, return, kickoff, return, he's got a lot of responsibility. So if there's something that we're doing that week that's you need a smart player to do, he usually puts him in that position.
Yeah. Well, he's he was at Elon and veteran player, one that's been around for a few years. One other thing, you mentioned a couple of the special teams guys going to be out, the young guys. You have some people that have had some reps, though, that are going to – because you do have more depth this year.
Yes, we got a lot of depth, especially defensively, and most of your special teams players are defensive players. But the guy that came in and did a great job Saturday was Parker Gregg. Hadn't played much on special teams, went in on the kickoff. He's on the kickoff return team, and he's been on the kickoff return team. But he went down and covered kickoffs last week and made 2 tackles, and he looked like he belonged on the kickoff team.
Yeah,
sometimes when you put an offensive guy out there, they don't really kind of look like they belong. But he covered. He was one of the first guys down, got off blocks, made 2 good tackles. And we actually got to take offensive players, and in practice, we put them in our tackling drills with our defensive players. Because if you play offense, you don't ever tackle anybody. It's like when you throw an intercept. We tell our guys on defense, when you intercept the ball, get to the near sideline, and you can score because these guys on offense can't tackle. You aren't getting tackled by offensive linemen. You're probably not going to get tackled by the quarterback. The only guys on offense that could probably tackle you are guys that play on special teams. So we get them tackling. We put them in our tackling drills because, they go to cover a punt or a kickoff. You got to be able to tackle.
Well, I know that you made a lot of the IUP fans happy because we love Parker Gregg. He got a touchdown catch earlier this year. He's running the ball a little bit.
Right.
So
he's a good short yardage runner. Down on the goal line.
Yeah.
He got two runs. One was in short yardage, made the first down, and then on the goal line scored a touchdown. So those, it's not an automatic. We got stopped the one time on third and one, and we had to kick a field goal, but it's not automatic in short yardage and goal line that you're going to score. They're not going to let you score, so you got to have a guy that got some size and got some pop, and he provides that for us.
That he does. Coach, thanks again. Thanks to Logan Goodwin for coming in, bringing him in, and we're looking forward to homecoming in Edinboro on Saturday, 2 o'clock kickoff, and it looks like we're going to luck out again with this weather.
Yeah, all week it's supposed to be nice, so that's good.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
All right,
appreciate it. Coach Tortorella. We'll see you Saturday, 2 o'clock, 1:30 Airtime, U92Radio.com, Renda Digital TV. Thanks, Sam, and everybody else for helping out tonight. Somehow we got through this, just like the team. Have a Major League night, everybody. Bye now.
IUP Spirit and get your hawk on with help from the Co-op Store, your one-stop location for all your IUP swag and apparel. Check out Norm's Bargain area for $25 fleeces and hoodies. Logo tees only $9.99. The Co-op Store is also the alumni headquarters. IUP is always in your heart, so put something on your front and back that shows that alumni spirit. IUP logoed water bottles, coffee mugs, spirit items for your dorm or man cave. And don't forget the Oak Grove collection. Get your hawk on at the Co-op Store or find them online at IUPstore.com.